don't know too much of the history of what's going on between Iran and the United States. But when I saw this video, it reminded me of Kobe Bryant, because it was the same way he died. The Iranian president has died officially, and one of the prime ministers, due to a helicopter crash. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on out here in Iran.
Tonight, the wreckage of the fiery crash that killed Iran's president and its foreign minister in a region already rocked by instability and war. TV crews reaching the remote scene today. The hardline leader of America's long-standing adversary dead suddenly, and it seems by accident. Today in the streets of Tehran.
Come on, man.
Men.
Let me start this back, man, because we didn't want to lag like this. We don't want to lag like this, so let's start over.
TV crews reaching the remote scene today. The hardline leader of America's long-standing adversary dead suddenly, and it seems by accident. Today in the streets of Tehran, men openly wept for President Raisi, seen as a potential successor to Iran's aging supreme leader. At some Iranian embassies in the West, opponents celebrated. The US tonight says there are no signs of outside interference and saying Iran's government reached out for help during the rescue effort.
Ultimately, largely for logistical reasons, we weren't able to provide that assistance.
Raisi described today as a friend by fellow presidents Putin and Xi, Hamas sending its sympathies. Since the October 7th terror attacks, Iran's proxies have launched multiple offensives, escalating the tension in the region. And tonight from Tehran, an advisor to the government telling NBC News not to expect policy changes despite the unexpected death.
This is a big loss, but when we're talking about the general direction of the state, it goes beyond any individual.
Lester Holt sat.
I'd really like to know y'all thoughts about this down below in the comments. My thoughts are this simply. It looks like this guy was obviously loved very much by his people. And obviously being in the United States, you hear so many bad things. So many bad things about Iran. So I'm not the best to have the opinion on, if he deserved it or not, or whatever the case may be. I'm just bringing the news, and I just wanted to pretty much give my thoughts on the situation, man. It's a sad way to die regardless of what he did, who did what, who's warring against who. This is a really, really sad way to die. So, yeah, let's continue.
Down with Raisi last year in what was among his last interviews with Western media. Raisi telling Lester that billions of dollars unfrozen during a deal with the US in exchange for 5 American prisoners were Tehran's to use as it wanted.
Do you believe you have the right to use that money in any way that you see fit?
This money belongs to the Islamic Republic of Iran, and naturally we will decide, the Islamic Republic of Iran will decide to spend it wherever we need it.
Raisi crushed internal dissent, including a wave of demonstrations for women's rights.
Some of the worst human rights abuses occurred during his tenure as president, especially the human rights abuses against the women and girls of Iran. That said, we regret any loss of life.
Funerals will begin tomorrow, Lester. Elections at the end of June. Then America will know which Iranian president it will face in the years to come. Lester?
Keir Simmons, thank you.
Well, let me know y'all thoughts down below about that. Very, very interesting. Very, very controversial. I think that the United States needs to mind their business on some stuff. I can't lie to you. They're trying to free the entire world, which it don't work like that. Other places work differently than the United States, and I think we should respect that. As long as they're not you know, killing people, brutally killing people and killing babies or whatever the case may be. And even then, it's not our business to step into that. We gotta let the people handle that. We gotta let their own people handle that. Regardless of how we feel about it over here, because obviously we got the opinion. We can say whatever we want. We can talk however we want. We're so free over here that we think that it's just like that everywhere else, and everywhere else should be like that. But honestly, I respect having differences of opinions even as countries, because you can pretty much pick and choose where you want to stay, what you want to be, where you want to be, and how you want to live your life. And it's very easy to talk bad about a different country, or talk however you want to talk about different continents and stuff, because we live in paradise and some other places don't. Some other places don't, and they are getting abused. Some of the women definitely don't have rights. Like, I believe in some places women can't even go to school. So I understand. And it's a sticky situation, because it's not America. It's not America, and it really doesn't have anything to do with America. So, with that being said, I think we should mind our business in a lot of these places. We got no reason going into a lot of these places and trying to take over as if we are God. God going to deal with them how they deal with them. Leave it to him. Handle our business where we at, and we good. RIP to that president and to the prime minister. They died in a helicopter crash. Very, very tragic. Very, very sad. Makes me never want to drive or fly into a helicopter. And especially when it's raining or cloudy. But again, RIP to him. Praying for the Iranian people. We're praying that they become peaceful. They get the answers they need, and that they grow to be good, genuine people, so we can all come together and make this place a better place, man, and stop all this war. 'Cause it only leads to more death. It only leads to more death, unfortunately. So let me know how you guys feel about this down in the comments below. I appreciate y'all viewership.